morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dreams Unveiled with my co-host, Melissa Salazar.
Hey guys.
I am Daun Whittaker. Check us out and look me up. DAUNW.com is the website. You can buy a book. You can actually pay for a personal dream interpretation with a written copy to be sent to you. There's all kinds of things that you could do on that website, and it's an okay website. I designed it. It's not like super awesome, but it's okay.
Right.
You get around.
Homemade.
It works.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are here today with a dream, and it's a funny dream, and we love these kind of dreams so much.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
Small, but good.
So I'm going to read the dream, and this is a dream submitted by Susan in Central New York. And Susan really was very hesitant to share this because she could not see any relevance in it. And I think that's what people do, is that even a little dream, people don't share things because they can't see that it's important.
Right.
And I'm so glad that she did, because we found out when I interviewed her that this was really important. I may get distracted. I have a golden doodle looking at me from beyond the French doors. No, she's not.
She's so cute.
I know, she's
so
adorable.
Cute.
I can't let her in.
Yeah.
Because she'll just want to play ball. So here is Susan's dream. Okay. She wrote, this is where this gets weird. I dreamt that I had woke up. Love those dreams. You dream when you've woke up. We call that a false awakening. So when you're dreaming and then you woke up and then you're not really quite sure.
Right. You're like in that limbo. You're like,
yeah.
Am I awake? Am I not awake?
Yeah. I dreamt that I had woke up and there was tiny tan pieces of what looked like tannish brown poop on my right eye. So instead of morning crusty, I had the shape of tiny mouse poop. What a problem to have.
Oh, so
gross, in real life, I would have been like throwing alcohol on my eye and just freaking out. I would be just like doing whatever, right? Going to the ER. So dreams are awesome. That should be a first cue. This is not really what it means.
Yeah, this is a real dream.
Yeah.
I'm not awake.
So my thoughts in the dream were, this looks like a cluster of mouse poop on my eye. Same shape, but different color. I should tell David that I think David's her husband or boyfriend. I wipe my eye off and see it in my hand, 3 pieces. Like, why would you put that in your hand?
Right.
I mean, that part, getting out the bleach.
Right.
No.
She's like, she's probably like, is this really?
I know.
But
right?
Sometimes you know.
But that's what's so cool, because I know she would feel the same way, I'm sure. But that's what, in a dream, you know that there's symbolism to things because none of that makes any sense. So she tells Dave, he makes a face like, really? Are you sure? I then see, and so let's note Dave's skepticism. Mm-hmm. That I think is a really big deal. I then see, and she voice texted this, so it may be a little off, as I'm looking in a mirror from the corner of my eye, not by my nose, but by my temple, right eye, there, but by my temple side, a tiny mouse slide its head out, and I have a thought. Oh, this is where the mouse poop came from. I've heard of people having this happen to them. My mind also has a vision of the inside of my head, passages of veins the little rodent is using. So as it has its head sticking out of the side of my eye, Dave sees it. I'm relieved that he saw it too. Like I said, that's a very relevant fact in the dream. And I try to press my temple and squeeze it out and grab it, and it slides back into my eye and escapes my effort. So what it sounds like she's doing is doing this to push it towards the crease so she could remove it.
Oh, so gross.
Now I'm pressing on my temple trying to think of how to get it out, and I know it's near impossible unless it sticks its head out again. And then she writes, she knew that because a person has been able to get them out when the head pops out. So she knows that that's possible.
Yeah.
So So that is the dream that we're working with.
Yeah.
How fun. This is a fun dream.
Oh, first of all, I'm just gonna say I'm not a fan of mice. I feel like they're so creepy crawly. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of them.
Well, think about this. How tiny is a mouse that fits in your eye?
I mean, mice apparently can fit anything, can go into any hole that's as big as their nose.
Yeah, I don't think this is like a horror movie where this normal headed mouse is sticking out and she's like,
right. That's how I envision. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, I don't think that would be the case. I think this is a tiny mouse, really tiny,
right?
And its head's just sticking out.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crusty.
So that's really relevant. So I asked her. I said, "Well, what's going on in your life at the time of this?" I said, and I initially when I received the message, I said, "It sounds like you have a problem that you're dealing with that needs to be solved."
Yeah.
And
a little problem.
That's really an important thing because a mouse in a dream typically represents a little problem.
Yeah, small problem.
So that would make sense. The idea that it's in her eye represents something more that's not actually directly impacting her, but something really significant in her life that she is seeing, that is part of her perception, that is even part of her inner self, emotional, all of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's when she shared with me that she is dealing with a situation with a friend, and the friend was staying with her parents, but her behavior is not really, her parents found her behavior to be not appropriate, and she shared some of it, but I don't want to share that here. But she got kicked out, and she was trying to move in with Susan, and Susan was not in a position to have her, but was really trying and advocating and really knocking herself out, trying to help her find a place. And I think the friend was very difficult, and it sounded to me like Susan has dealt with issues like this with this friend for
obviously,
a long time.
To let her be with her parents, so she must be like a close friend, maybe like a childhood friend.
Yeah, well, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
This is somebody Susan's extremely close to, and I think that, she really wanted to help her. She has helped her out of other binds and other situations. I'm not sure that the friend necessarily makes great decisions. It does sound like that.
Yeah.
But Susan's always kind of been there to really guide her and impart some wisdom and help her out. But she really did not know what to do, because she did get her a place to stay with some other people that where she could rent a room, and it didn't take long for her to violate their rules and end up out. And so the dream is happening on the tail end of all of that.
Yeah.
Now,
so that little mouse is her little problem.
And and the thing,
friend.
And I think why it is presenting as a little problem, because it's really not Susan's problem. This is a burden that Susan takes on out of love, because she loves her friend, but she is recognizing there's really not much she can do. What's really interesting is it never occurred to her that this would manifest in her dream. And I think part of it is because Susan is not actually identifying with the feelings and the issue and that the stress that this has put her under, and the emotional hardship that this has put her under. So I think that is really why this dream appeared the way it did. Right. Why the mouse is in her eye, where the eye is really about perception, about inner self, right? The eye is the doorway, right? It's your inner self. And that really is, I think, what Susan is experiencing, that this is a problem that's really not hers, but she is taking this on. So
yeah, and I think it was crazy in her dream how she was so casual, oh yeah, this has happened to other people, if you just squeeze it out, it'll just, she's just like, it happens,
And here's the great thing, though. After talking to Susan, it didn't take much for me to really realize that is how she lives her life. I mean, which is really great. She doesn't let a lot of that negativity really sit
there. She just wants to get it out. She's like, it's happened before. Let's just pop that sucker out, and
And she was probably going through her day to day without any,
constantly thinking about it, but it was like subconsciously there.
And that is a really big thing. And the reason I think that is because when I have people submit dreams, I ask them, what's going on in your day today? She's like, nothing, like she didn't have any idea that there was a connection between those two things. Most people, if they're sending me a weird dream, they're like, and this is going on. This is what's happening in my life.
High stress stuff, but this was her just.
She didn't even realize it until I actually had to ask her.
Yeah.
And then she when she shared the situation about her friend, I didn't get a name, but when she shared that situation, she's like, I don't see how this could be related. She actually sent that in the message. So that is really interesting. So I started talking to her about what a mouse means. So a mouse in your eye, and here's a big thing. This really shows a deep connection with the friend, really deep connection, because the mouse is getting inside of her using veins and arteries, or which really goes to show a level of intimacy, level of nearness,
personal connection there.
Yes, absolutely. And I think really it goes to show the threat this is to her emotional life right now, why this is so stressful, because she really carries this burden.
She also burdened her parents with it as well, and and her helping her find a place to live, so it's maybe like she probably doesn't want to burn any bridges through those connections, and helping her,
you're right,
have her help her friend.
So I think that is pretty powerful, and I think Susan probably needs to be very aware of when things really are bothering her. Mm-hmm. I think she has a great ability maybe to put things away and go on with her day today. She, anytime I've ever talked to her, she sounded very upbeat, and, even in how she texted this, and she's making light of it.
Yeah.
I think that was, a big, how she is. That's her personality. So let's talk about Dave. And Dave's mentioned only a couple times in her dream. But the first time, Dave was very skeptical that any of this was happening.
Poop on her hand. She's like, it's coming from my eye.
But then the mouse popped its head out, and Dave saw the mouse. And in the dream, and this is a big deal, Susan is feeling relief.
Right.
That Dave saw it.
Right.
And I think that what that is that Dave is not probably quite so willing to take on her friend's problems. And
it's probably like a your friend thing,
And I also think that Susan is not really wearing her heart on her sleeve about this. She strikes me as a pretty upbeat person. So she's dealing with this inside.
Yeah.
A lot of this inside. That's why she can't even recognize that this dream could have been, that this was a stress that could cause this dream. This is just her day today, and she's living life. And this is a thing she deals with this friend, who's a very close friend that she's known for a very long time. So I think, she was so relieved when Dave saw it, because it validated the idea that this problem existed. It really and that she is not hiding from it anymore. Right. That now this is a real thing.
It's out there.
And I think she may have been talking about it and so forth, and Dave probably did not want to deal with it, but now he really has an understanding of the depth of the problem, that this is something. Yeah,
he saw it. He saw the mouse.
That's right. And this mouse is connected to something historical that has been really going on, and really understands. My belief is probably the emotionality that this has given to Susan, that emotionally how significant this is to Susan. I think that was where that connection is and where that relief came. So so
it's good that she has him to back her up, give her some support on there, and be there, and see that it is there.
And I don't think Susan is Susan does not cry wolf. I never got any of that impression. I really just got the impression that Susan doesn't let things bother her, but sometimes her mind is sending little taps on the shoulder. Hey, this needs to bother you.
Right.
This is stressful. This is really burdening you.
Yeah.
And that's part of also that relief. And now she's not really alone in that.
Yeah.
So I think all of that is a big issue. So what was really interesting is that the mouse poop and the mouse were the same color, which shows me that the mouse and the poop really are the same thing. The poop is really the feelings and all of the negative drama, all of the stuff going on that is being produced by the mouse, by the small problem.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good. And she's got multiple, like three of them.
She's like showing them.
Yeah. So I think that's really a very important aspect, that it is spilling over, that she is having to deal with a lot of things as a result of that.
She has like evidence to show like this is.
I'm thinking about this, and the mouse is so tiny that it occurred to me that she's underestimating the emotional effect this is having on her. I think that's really what is happening. That, to sum up the conversation, that is really what's happening.
Yeah. So is there a difference between, in your dreams, like remembering that it's your left eye compared to your right eye?
I'm going to say yes. As soon as I read that, I knew that was significant, because normally when you're in a dream, if that jumps out at you in the dream, that it's right or left, or up or down or something like that, that typically is significant. Or it wouldn't have been necessarily noticed. That's right.
Like that, yeah.
So I do think that it is. And so the right side, right eye, and keep in mind, eye are where we look, perception, intuition, feelings, all of that would be kind of associated with the eye.
Yeah.
So the right eye, we're talking about logic, reasoning, anything that kind of like from an intellect standpoint, the ability to really see things clearly. So we've already talked about it being related to perspective, but it's really seeing things very clearly from a faith standpoint. And it's important. This is a woman of faith. She is a Christian woman, and she has very strong faith, that the right eye may actually equate to her faith, to really being faithful, having faith, and to really see things rightly or righteously, as it were. So that really all could be part of the interpretation, and I think that really is. I genuinely think that has a lot to do with it.
She's like seeing, her, like the mouse being on that side and everything is seeing her friend through that eyes, so she's coming at this with love and with her faith on her side.
Yeah, I really do think that has a lot to do with it, and it may be giving her some real inner conflict.
Yeah.
Which, think about it, the mouse is going in and out of her, right? This problem is going in and out, is accessing passageways, her.
Well, and especially if her friend's doing things that she shouldn't be doing, where they're making people kick her out.
That's right.
And that's like her parents, and maybe it's like one of her like.
And I think she really went out on a limb to get this other place for her.
Yeah.
She really did, and put her reputation out there, and really went out on a bit of a limb. So I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
I think, first of all, for Susan, really, I think it's wonderful, and it's probably her faith that allows her to really move through these kind of situations and really have a positive outlook.
And not really burden her like that. But some people, I feel like, have other people's problems and it just consumes them.
It absolutely does.
This is kind of going in and out. She's helping,
And the eye, I think, really shows it. It's not hers, but it is hers. It's something she's assuming because of relationship, and probably feeling some level of responsibility for this friend, because, like I said, it was indicated that this is not a one-shot deal, that there have been other issues that she's intervened in.
Yeah.
So I think that that's part of it. But, Susan, if you have a lot of these dreams, my guess is that maybe you just need to take a look at what's going on in your waking life, and you may need to at least have an understanding of how it's affecting you.
Right.
So that you can either walk away from it or address it differently, or most importantly, resolve the issue. And it doesn't mean that you're taking care of all of your friends' issues. It's not that. Please do not think that that's what you need to do. But even for yourself, resolving the situation. These are my boundaries. This is as far as I can go in being a help. I've done everything I can do. I love you, but you have to figure the rest of this out.
Right.
Because I have nothing left.
Right.
So I think that might be a real thing with the dream.
Boundaries is a great thing, especially in friendships, and, this is almost seeming like, childhood friend, so family even too, boundaries are a big thing. Keeping your boundaries and being respectful and having other people be respectful of your boundaries.
Absolutely. So, and I think that's really, whenever you have a weird dream, Susan, you need to do a little check on what's going on in your life. That's all.
Let us know.
Yes, let us know.
It was an interesting
Susan,
dream.
you have some good dreams.
Yeah, it was a good one.
We absolutely encourage you to share your dreams with us.
Keep dreaming.
So, but when you're not dreaming a whole lot, that you're probably in a really great place, right?
Yeah.
And I love how her mind works, because it's really just a, hey girl,
right,
check this.
Right, it's checking on you.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You're not having any awful nightmares or anything. It's just
right.
Just that. We still need to explore, research shows that eating cheese before bed can elicit nightmares. I know. We still have to explore that research. We have not done that. I've mentioned it.
Yeah.
But that's pretty... I am a lover of cheese, so
I do love cheese.
I know. I don't know. I might have to stop eating my jalapeno poppers before bed. I know. They're really good. You gave me the recipe.
I know. I love those. Those are my favorite.
Anyway, we just want to thank you for tuning in. And I hope you have an amazing day and sweet dreams.
Yep. Like and subscribe.
Thank you. Everyone, if you have a dream you want to share with us and would be willing to let us interpret it on the podcast, please send us your dream. You can either go to dawnw.com, and there is a Dreams Unveiled link, and you could print out a PDF form, or not print it out, it's a fillable form, and email it to dreams@daunw.com, not DAWN, DAUNW.com, or you could just send an email. Just make sure you have information on your waking time, and understand I'm going to have to contact you so that we have information to work with. So that's it, because dreams are personal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.